Hi, and welcome to Sunday Segue, coming to you straight out of the UK, and boy, what a show we have for you tonight. Let's get things started. Tonight's contest will be a triple threat match. Introducing first, coming to you live from Newport, Wales, weighing 161 pounds, the technical and sound engineer, Sugar, Regalum Sugar, Sugs. Next up, we have a man, Bristol born and bred, with countless hours of ring experience, weighing in at 175 pounds, our resident wrestler, the human highlight reel, E2J! And now, the woman you've all been waiting for, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the No Twitter fan coming to you straight out of Bristol, England, weighing in at 168 pounds, your host, Kaitlyn Killer!
Alright. Olale! Arriba la raza! Hello everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is Sunday. It's episode 16. I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man no Twitter fan, Kaitlyn Killer. And you know, I'm always kicking it with the hashtag tech guy. Not the human highlight reel, but it is the goddamn sugar Sugs.
Yo.
And he has returned, a prodigal son, the human highlight reel himself, Mr. E2J.
Back with a vengeance. Hey, yo.
And, guys, we have a very special guest today. It's our sister from another mister, all the way from America, the Angry Marks podcast, the wonderful and talented Sierra.
Hello.
Hello. What should I say? Good morning.
Yeah, it's morning over here, and it's, what, daytime over there?
Yes, just gone past 2. So, yeah, it's daytime and it's baking hot out here. It's baking hot out here. So how's everything going over in good old America?
Not too bad. Just had some craziness, you know. The world is going crazy over this Trayvon Martin case and decision, and then wrestling is just going crazy. People getting fired, people being brought in, and it's just so many things going on at once. It's just like, I can't, keep all this stuff in my brain.
Well, let's just get into the wrestling world. First off, just want to say to the fans out there, the Sunday Segue Army, we gotta say sorry, because last week was the shittest week we've ever had. We flopped it, and we just gotta say sorry.
Well, I need to apologize on my behalf, because I was wrapped up with loads of stuff. Obviously, couldn't hold my end down, so you have to give it to obviously the guys for holding it together still and keeping it running, because obviously I was slacking on my part, so they're trying.
It's all good, man. You're here now, that's all that matters. But Beat the Clock 3 will be coming to you guys. It will be uploaded, okay, so don't you worry about that. Okay, right. So make sure, guys, you follow us on Twitter. There's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled S-E-G-U-E. Also, follow our blog. Listen to our old episodes on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Also, listen to our old episodes on Podomatic. And download that Double Twist player. Okay, no Deadly Dirt Sheet this week. We've got far too much to get into. So, we're just going to go straight into Raw. We won't have no Fandango impressions or nothing like that, because Sierra is a seasoned veteran on our show, and she's already done that. Been there, done that, move on. So, Raw, segment 1. We're going to breeze through Raw real quick so we can get to Money in the Bank predictions. So, Vickie Promo. Sierra, did you think Raw started kind of flat with all the excitement that was going around it?
Yeah, it started really, it was flat, like, I needed someone to stuff it. And you would think it being the go-home show before the pay-per-view, it just, you knew it was not going to be so good the way it kicked off with Vickie girl. So.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I wanted her to drop off that ladder I know I'm cruel. I'm sorry, but I really wanted her to drop.
Well, one thing it proved to me is that her and Mickie James cannot climb ladders in heels. Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, just leave it at that, because we don't really talk about the TNA the total non-stop ass shit. We don't really talk about that on this show. We leave that to the professionals. We just talk about WWE up here. But yeah, I mean, Raw started a bit flat, and we went into segment 2, which was Sheamus, our resident bully versus Daniel Bryan, and I mean, with Bryan taking things, into another direction in terms of now he's beaten Orton, Sugs, and and now he's faced Sheamus. Do you think that they're gonna stand by this push and continue to push him a bit more? Who does he face next?
Well, as soon as you see anyone fighting Sheamus, you just think, oh no, because you automatically think they're gonna lose. Like me and you were saying the other day, that Sheamus was the first wrestler to get 100 wins in 2013, because he just seems to win every week. But I suppose if they're going to face him off against Cena, then they need to make him look good by beating everyone else. But I still can't see him beating Cena. I can't see Cena dropping the belt until WrestleMania 30 or until even after that. So I think he's going in against Cena, but I don't think he's going to beat him.
Shugs, yeah, who do you reckon called the match?
Well, I think that, it was a hard-hitting match, but I think that it's got to be like Bryan calling the match, leading the match, and then just dragging Sheamus's ginger ass along with him.
Oh, God. Okay, well, we're going to segment 3, which was the Shield versus Tons of Funk. Sierra, what did you think of the match, and were you surprised that Tons of Funk actually were given a bit of time to look strong against the Shield?
To be honest, I didn't even know Tons of Funk was still a team. To be honest, because if you think about it, they were pushing them, and then we hardly see them. We see more of the girls than them now. So if they were to split them, I don't think anyone would care, because everybody's focused on the Funkadactyls and, their situation. But I kind of like that they actually showed that, hey, we do have more than one babyface tag team here. Remember those dudes that dress alike but don't look nothing alike? They were the same bra size, but they really are not the same guy. But, I kind of liked it, but I really wish that this had happened a while ago as a now. Yeah. Because they're going against the Usos at the pay-per-view, and it's just all of a sudden, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, a couple of weeks ago. All of a sudden the Usos get, 1-year-old face paint done, and all of a sudden, they're credible. But obviously, we're not fools out here. We know what the issue is. So, yeah, you just have to see what happens. In the meantime, we'll go on to segment 4, which was the Cena and Mark Henry face-off. Shugs, did they need to get physical, or could they have just waited until the actual pay-per-view?
I think they'd gone as long as they could go without getting physical. There's only so long they stretched it out. We had the retirement promo, which was great, and then a few other great Henry promos, and I think it was time to get physical, You need to have some type of interaction on the go-home show that's just going to add that extra last bit of build for the match at Money in the Bank. So I think it was good. I think it was good for them to finally get their hands on each other. And Cena's still looking like he's he's scared of Mark Henry, which is a good look.
Yeah, well, we all know that's a swerve, though. Because you know how they like to make Cena be Super Cena. Jeez. What can I say? E2J, you back?
Yeah, I've just been hearing bits of the conversation, and then I've just been booted out. I didn't know what's going on, man. It's just kicking me out.
Well, you're back. That's all that matters.
It's typical, innit? Make it on the return and lights go out like Undertaker.
Well, I'll get you back in on this. We're on segment 5, which was Curtis Axel versus Jericho with The Miz. Yeah, our favorite ball bag on commentary. What did you think of this match, E2J?
I mean, yes. Match overall, I like the match. I like both the guys having a match. I just didn't think it really went anywhere for anyone other than Jericho, who we know is a guy that's there to put people over or to have decent matches with people, and it kind of build something between Axel and obviously Miz for obviously the weekend. But yeah, I mean, I like Axel, but the thing missing for Axel is that Chris Benoit edge, and obviously, I mean, in ring, he needs to have that aggression. He needs to be that rabid Wolverine. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, that's the only thing that it was lacking. Other than that, it was decent enough wrestling match.
Well, clearly, Sierra, he's not his father. But what the hell is going on with the Miz, Sierra? What's your guys' take over there on the Miz?
Over at Angry Marks, everybody, is everybody either dislikes The Miz or they're confused on his stance in the company, just like the rest of us. I think really with him is that you got so many top guys out now, and you got so many top guys still lingering around. They don't really know what to do with them. And Miz was one of those top guys for the longest time. I know it sounds crazy, but he was one. And he was pushed for so long, he racked up so many titles within the span of a couple of months. And when you do that with a young guy like that, and you push him to the top, he's in the main event of WrestleMania, there's but so much you can do with him if you do not build him and continue to make him strong. And with him, he had injuries, he was out for a while, and then other guys took that spot and rose up in the card. And now he's kind of doing the Chris Jericho thing of where he's putting over these younger guys. And I think that's best for him to do right now because I'm sorry, but I don't want to see The Miz and John Cena again. I don't want to see The Miz and Alberto Del Rio. I mean, it would be intriguing to see, but
yeah,
the way they're pushing him right now, and it's just not doing anything for him. He needs, if they're going to ever push a babyface Miz against a heel, it needs to be a strong heel like a Mark Henry. Or, somebody that is such a heel that no matter what The Miz says, the crowd is not going to turn on him so easily. They can cheer for him. And if you put him in there against Del Rio with the way he's going, it's going to fall flat on their ass. So
Exactly.
Right now, I just don't think they even know what to do with The Miz. And I guess Curtis Axel needs somebody to toy with, and it's The Miz, and I don't understand.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I think a lot of people don't know what to take of The Miz and and what's going on with them at the moment. But I think The Miz is doing the media stuff, so let him keep doing that so he doesn't look like a ball bag on TV. All right, segment 6, which is the World Heavyweight Title Money in the Bank Backstage. Shugs, are you excited about this match? And another question quickly: does Cesaro and Swagger work?
I don't think it is working at the moment. I don't think they've had enough time or enough has been put into it because they're just thrown together and we're just expected to just take it and just run with it. But they haven't really put much of an explanation to it, or they haven't really shown enough interaction between Swagger and Cesaro with Uncle Zeb. So I just think that they just put Cesaro there, So, they haven't really put any thought behind it. And England have just won in the Ashes, in case you were wondering. I've got my BBC Sport. They won by 14 runs in the cricket. But, I like this backstage angle. And the only good thing to come out of it was it made Fandango look like a face. Fandango got the pop off the crowd, and then even the heels didn't like Fandango. So if the heels don't like you, then surely you must be a face.
Well, you would think. We just asked, does Cesaro and Swagger work? But this takes me to segment 7, which is Del Rio against Sin Cara. E2J, what is going on with Sin Cara? What is going on with the lighting? They're making Sin Cara look like he's like he's up there, but he's nowhere. So what's up with the lighting? And also, what happened to the end of the match? What, we just supposed to assume that there's a no contest?
Referee lost control, apparently. That's what the commentator said. And I was like, hang on a minute. He was hardly outside the ring for, obviously that long to start with, until obviously him and Ziggler went at it. And obviously you got to think, they previously had the match with Axel, and he was outside the ring for ages, and they were going on about him getting carried out, and then they just say that the referee lost control of the match. I think it is. Don't know what happened there, but it just they didn't even say who won. Do you know what I mean? Or like whether it was a double count out or what. They didn't say anything about it. So I don't know. It's just the match was okay. The lights does my head in. It's done my head in from day one. I honestly don't know. I like Del Rio. I like the Ziggler thing. I like them going at it. Like I said before, Ziggler's.
E2J, you still there? Oh, he's gone. E2J has left the building. Alright, we'll try and get him back again. This is so funny. And it's too hot for this. It's too hot for this. People, I'm out here looking like Django. I haven't got a trim in weeks. Alright, I'm out here looking like Django. Forget Django Unchained. I look like Django's been chained for about 2 years. Jeez. Oh, God. Alright, let's go on to segment 8. Just the Vickie Guerrero job evaluation. Now, Sierra, we obviously know who's been writing this stuff. Quality writing by the McMahons. But, did you enjoy the segment? Did you even like Vickie as the general supervisor?
You know what? Where a lot of people didn't really care for Vickie, I actually enjoyed Vickie's character. And the reason why I say that is because before Vickie Guerrero popped up, besides Stephanie McMahon, there was not many women in that company that can be a heel and a woman at the same time on that roster and not be labeled as a diva. She stands out like, she's the evil Vickie Guerrero. No matter if she's somebody's manager, somebody's boss, she's just Vickie Guerrero, not, WWE Diva Vickie Guerrero. She's not that. She's something completely different, and I really like that because she brings, I don't know if she's learned it from Eddie Guerrero, but she knows how to turn that switch on to become that character. And it's completely opposite of her in real life. She's a complete sweetheart. She's very soft-spoken. She's totally different. And she's, learned how to do that really good. And I kind of enjoyed her role, but this segment was just... Okay, let me be nice to the McMahons because I don't need them coming evaluating my job.
You may end up like Renee Paquette and just get snapped up from Angry Marks, and all of a sudden you're on Superstars.
I wish they would, but anyway, it just made me this whole situation. They had this whole tirade, and I knew when Stephanie McMahon brought it up last week that it was going to be bad, period. And I hate saying that, but it just dragged on, and it went from Triple H sounding like a freaking smark on microphone, belittling Vickie and saying everything that everybody says on Twitter. And then Stephanie McMahon just sitting there like a bump on a log, and Vince McMahon just sitting there like, whew, what is going on? It just went on and on and on, and the only person in the ring that seemed to look tired was Brad Maddox, and I'm like, gee, what is going on here? And then Vickie climbs up on the table. She loses her mind about them firing her and saying, you can't fire me. I've been general manager this long and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, if you think about it, Vickie Guerrero has been general manager of Smackdown and Raw for like years now.
Yeah, at least 5 years. It must be 5 years on and off.
It has to be at least 5 years on and off. And if you think about it, she's been the longest reigning general manager off and on, besides Teddy Long, because he just seems to never leave. But this segment just dragged on and on and on and on. And, to be honest, I wouldn't have done this on Raw. I would have saved this for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, just to break it up.
Break it up and make it even more freaking dramatic. Have Vickie flip the desk over and just pounce on Stephanie, and they start catfighting, and then Triple H and Vince McMahon have to have her escorted off, and then she somehow gets back in the building and she attacks Stephanie again. Just have her attack Stephanie. Just I mean, that would have been so much better. Instead, we get Vickie climbing on tables, acting like a fool, like she lost her mind. Then Ryback hugs her, and I'm just like, dear Jesus, this is just getting worse.
We will get into that. Trust me. But in terms of her attacking Stephanie, I'm not sure if I'm ready for Jerry Lawler to come back and start shouting puppies again. Because right about now, this guy's ticker. He needs to cool out, sit down, relax. And stop eating that food from Sonic. Jeez. All right, let's go into segment 9, which is Kane versus Christian E2J. You back, son.
Yeah.
Did you find this match at all interesting? Was this just a filler? Tell me, Wagwan.
I mean, we know what this match was for. This was for what came after, to be honest. I like both the guys. Obviously, I like Kane. I like Christian, but it didn't really do much for me. Obviously, yeah, what came next, kind of...
We'll get into that.
Yeah, do we really want to say anything about Kane Christian apart from meh for the match?
Or let's just say, you know what, let's just say nah and go straight into segment 10. The greatest segment ever, the Wyatt family debut. Listen, Shugs, hold tight, because you know, I was the first one that said to you, look, you need to look at this guy. Bray Wyatt, NXT, bad man, all day, every day. Don't even chat. Don't. Come on.
Just go
Give
on
me
one.
credit where credit is due.
Just go on one.
All right, look, I'm gonna take this to Shugs, yeah, right? Because Shugs, there haven't been no promos like this ever, have they? This was the best video promos leading up to a debut I find ever. Do you agree with me?
What do you think is better than Glacier or Cavani? Kizani?
Yeah. Kizani, Mordecai.
Exactly.
Go on.
How do you dare bring up any of those names? Those are... No!
Oh, it's only because I read an article and it was like the best ever videos, but then they sort of died out. They had Boogeyman on there and they had something else. Who was the one who was like a German guy who just used Braxus? Braxus. And he would be like, John Cena, I'm coming for you.
Oh no, who was that?
That was it, Braxus or Braxus, and he was like a German guy, and he used to speak in German and then just say the people's names in English, and that was it.
I can't remember who. I don't even. The only thing that comes to my mind is Ludwig Borger. I don't know why I'm thinking of Ludwig Borger.
1993, 94?
I'll add the promo in post production, so you can listen to it then.
Mein Name ist Braxus und ich komme von Deutschland. Mein Gewicht ist 300 Pfund. Und wenn ich nach Amerika zu der World Wrestling Federation komme und Hunter Hearst Helmsley in den Ring kriege, werde ich ihn zerstören.
But yeah, come on. Just tell me your thoughts, man.
It was good. Like, obviously the way they split them up over the evening, and the way you had them visiting the town, and the different things, and it was building up piece by piece. But the way they actually switched from the video to like the live feed, and from Bray Wyatt, and then when he came out with the lantern, that it was like seamless. Seamless. It was like so good.
It's just perfect. It was just perfect. Like I was marking out like crazy. Like I was a little bitch. I was there just like, this is the shit right here. This is what I want to see. Sierra, is there enough creative strength to get the best out of this group? And after all of their debut and stuff, can you see them being big?
It's kind of hard to say because the way they debuted, which was how would I say, you kind of starting to see a pattern with stables debut that way of they attack somebody. It's kind of been a pattern since, the NWO and, your Nexus, and now you got the Shield, and, it's kind of a pattern you see that. Which I didn't mind them debuting that way. And I kind of like how they played it up at first. The arena went dark, and all you heard was that creepy music, which is based on the song by Alice in Chains, because I'm a fan, I know. And, the creepy music is playing, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, the crowd is cheering. And I'm like, you guys don't even know what the hell they're going to do, so why are you cheering? You should be silent. And, just be silent. Play the hell along. Where? They need somebody to cue the crowd, like they're on Jerry Springer or something. Jesus Christ, they're stupid. But anyways, then you had Bray Wyatt sitting in a rocking chair, and can somebody tell me where the hell was the rocking chair? He was sitting.
Listen, I'm telling you, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see nothing. I didn't know where he was. I didn't know where he came from.
All I seen was him with the lanterns sit down, and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? And they came out there, attacked Kane, and the one with the lamb on his face, bah, whatever. I don't know what's going on there. But I kind of like how they did, but this is the problem I had with the whole situation. I kind of like how they did the lead-up promos of Where's the Wyatts, which I feel that they should have done a long time ago when they started sending these weird messages. Not that night, because you know what it did? I was having a conversation with King J, during this on Raw, and I said, so is WWE trying to tell me the whole fucking time that they're going around wondering where the Wyatts are? They know where they are, which is in Baltimore, Maryland. So apparently they live in Baltimore, Maryland now. Completely just killed kayfabe for me. So they live in Baltimore, Maryland, apparently. I have no idea. I just didn't like that.
Well, I'm going to say this now, okay? I'm just going to do this now because a lot of people think this episode was going to go without a rant. You know what? Shucks, hit my music. Right. You fucking fans. Everything went cool. Everything was good. Everything was cushy. And then you started to shout Husky Harris. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just allow it. Like, let them debut. Everyone's excited. You know what I mean? There's people out there probably busting a nut and all that. Everyone's excited, getting gassed off. And then all of a sudden, you just mess it up by starting to shout Husky Harris. We're not stupid. We know who he is. But you just messed the whole thing up. You just messed the excitement up for me. And I'm mad with you. And that's why my music played, because I'm mad. Right. Anyway, let's just segue from that. What can we say? Wyatt family, we're looking for big things from them. I think E2J just came back. So
I'm back.
Apparently Vince McMahon is not happy with one of the members of the Shield. So they think that the way it's going to go is they might be replacing the Shield now to fight the Brothers of Destruction. So that might be the angle, because I'm not sure which one it was. I was listening to Kurt Bauer and John Pollock, and he was saying about that he knew which one it was, but he wanted to get more information before he actually said who it was. So I don't think it's Ambrose, so it's got to be one of Rollins and Reigns that Vince McMahon has cooled on or is not happy with. So it looks like the Wyatts are going to take their spot at the moment, because the Shield seem to have cooled a lot over the last few weeks.
But you know what? I kind of like the Wyatts going after Team Hell No or whatever they're called anymore, because I don't know if they're even team now. Because, me and King J were like envisioning like how would you debut? I'm like, put him up against the dope face and the red face monster, whatever the hell he is nowadays. And he just looked at me like I was crazy, and I'm like, it's genius. You got a kooky team against another kooky team. Who the hell are you going to put the Wyatts against, really? I mean, tons of funk. They're going to kill tons of funk. They're just going to slaughter them. You got to put them up against just an even wackier team, and I kind of like that scenario.
Yeah, no, that scenario doesn't sound too bad. Right, so we're going to move on from this and go on to segment 11, which is Ryback and Vickie backstage. So we're just going to touch on this quickly with Mr. E2J. E2J, will we see Vickie managing Ryback after this?
Could be. I honestly don't know what to say about this. I mean, I didn't see it coming at all. It was just, I didn't know to laugh, to cringe, or just, I don't know, man. All I know is, I think after this segment of Raw, the amount of like moaning and crying and the fuss that Vickie made, that something's in the pipelines for her. Like, I think something definitely, like, maybe she's gonna weasel her way back in managing someone, or she could even form a stable or like little corporation thing herself. I don't know, man. I just gotta wait and see for this, because I don't diss.
I
carry on.
don't diss. What was you gonna say? I don't dislike Ryback. I don't dislike Vickie.
He was going to say, I don't dislike Vickie, I think. But, well, I don't think any of us really dislikes Vickie. I just don't like her voice. But we'll get back to E2J, because we don't know when he's going to come back. We'll just see. Sorry, people, for the technical difficulties, but it just makes this episode just a lot more fun. Right, so segment 12. The last segment on Raw, which was Punk versus Orton. Shugs, hit me with it. What did you think of the match? And did you think, it would have been a clean win, or did you see a clusterfuck?
Yeah, I probably expected like some type of clusterfuck to go on because, Orton to get pinned clean again after a few weeks when he got pinned while he tapped out to Daniel Bryan. I didn't expect him to take another loss, so clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good match. Two good workers, and they just went at it really.
Okay. Sierra, did you get a bit confused about how they were booking Daniel Bryan, because he was so good at the beginning and then he came in like he was some heel, just knocking out everyone?
Yeah, I was kind of confused by it, but with the rumors going around on the internet, and I'm sure you guys have seen it with Daniel Bryan supposed to go up against John Cena apparently, and he's supposed to be the heel. It kind of made sense in the end of why they were teasing that, him being the heel, but it kind of doesn't make sense because a few weeks ago when him and Orton had that match, and he kind of did that committed suicide dive out on the outside, and Orton was pretty much looking like the heel in that match. And I figured they were going to go with the whole, Orton turns heel, and then they actually go up against each other or something like that, because it seemed like something was going on there. But now it seems like they just kicked that to the side, and now they're just going to go with Daniel Bryan being the heel, probably.
Okay. I will just have to see what happens, because, they're really tweening him up at the moment, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But that's the end of Raw. Can I get you guys Raw ratings? So, E2J, what's your Raw rating?
I'm gonna give it 7.5.
7.5. Shugs, Raw rating?
I would say 7, maybe 6.5.
Whoa, it's a good 1 point up than last week's 5.5. And Sierra, what's your Raw rating out of 10?
I would give it a 6.8 at the most. Like they almost set the 7, but they really missed the boat on a lot of things that they could have did, but they didn't do.
Well, we're gonna have to take that from Sierra. She knows what she's talking about. You know what I mean? She knows what's down, so we'll take that. Right, so, guys, we're going to go straight into Smackdown in 60 seconds. Roll with it, Shugs.
Okay, so, Christian versus Daniel Bryan. Good match, two good workers, and Kaitlyn Charisma taps out. Dolph and Teddy backstage. Teddy tells Dolph that he's not competing tonight. Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso. I'm not interested in the Usos. Rollins wins with a curb stomp and no shenanigans. Jericho versus Axel. So Axel loses by count out this time and then throws a fit and smashes up the ringside. Miz versus Ryback. Miz actually dominates the match against Ryback, but then Ryback fakes a knee injury and comes with a meat hook, clothesline and shell shock. Diva's contract signing was actually the best bit of the show. Diva's in the ring, and AJ just goes in on all of them, tells them about themselves. She gets some of the texts to the secret admirer, and then Kaitlyn gets the slap, and then Kaitlyn slaps Big E, and then spears AJ out of her Converses. Fandango versus Barrett. Swagger and Cesaro come out, and Road Scholars are there as well, and they have an argument, and Fandango gets a roll up on Barrett. Del Rio versus Sin Cara, but it's not Sin Cara, it is Ziggler dressed as Sin Cara, hits the zigzag, and the match doesn't start. And then we get Sheamus versus Orton. They have a brawl and a bit of a, tough match. And Bryan comes out, and Orton climbs the ladder and beats the Black Randy Orton with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Randy Orton. Wow. Okay. Well, guys, you're about to get stunned with Sugs Stunners.
Sugs Stunners. Alright, so, quick one this week. So I'm going to go. Jobber of the week, Curtis Axel. He goes from being unbeaten with Paul Heyman to losing twice in 2 shows. Move of the week is Kaitlyn Spear on AJ. You need to watch Smackdown just for that. AJ does like a 360 and lands on her face. And then rest of the week, once again, Daniel Bryan. Wins again. And he's looking hot for Money in the Bank.
There you go, my man D.Bryan. Okay, so we're going into the Money in the Bank predictions, people. I hope you got your pen and paper, but we know the hashtag tech guys out there ready to write up a storm with these predictions. I think Sierra got closer last time. I was shocking last time, but this time, hopefully, we'll take it down. I think E2J's due a win, so let's just see. Right, let's get into it. So
you two can't cheat and get E2J a win with this one, unlike the quiz.
Man, stop begging the click. Sierra, I don't know if you know, but Shugs has been calling us the click, calling me HBK, calling E2J Kevin Nash, and he doesn't like the way the Beat the Clocks have been going. Listen to episode 15, because he put this wicked, I'm not going to lie, it was a good promo at the end, going in on me and E2J. So, talking about he's a pretty boy Welshman, so we're just going to we'll have to see. Yeah. So let's just go straight into it. Shield versus the Usos. Sierra, do you think the Shield fighting on the pre-show hurts their run a bit?
It's the kickoff.
The kickoff, sorry,
Money
Sierra.
in the Bank
kickoff.
The
the kickoff. Do you think that the Shield fighting on the kickoff hurts their run?
Yeah, because what are they actually kicking off? They're kicking off a show that nobody really watches because ain't nobody got patience for you loading that shit up on the internet. They're too busy trying to scrape up money to buy the pay-per-view. Like, I'm sorry, but how do you go from being this demonstrating team and dominating and all this stuff to all of a sudden you're pulling Miz's job?
True.
What? Like, they couldn't have found spot to put them on there. I'm sorry, but I hate to say this. I am a Divas apologist. I try, but they should be on the freaking pre-show and not the tag team title match. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. Ugh.
I know, I'm a bit confused by that as well. But what is your prediction for this match?
I really want to go with the other team. I really want to go with the Usos because it feels like it's time for the Usos. And that's why I really don't like that they're on the pre-show, because it just feels like, when was the last time the Usos were included on a pay-per-view for going for a title? It's been a long time, maybe a year at most.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now they're coming into being, recognized as a really legit tag team. Why not put on the pay-per-view? And I really want to pull for the Usos, but I really want to say the Shield. And I'm going with the Shield because I'm hoping that this leads to another match, something else going on down the line. So I'm going with the Shield.
Okay, so I was going with the Shield. Shugs?
Shield.
E2J?
Shield as well, man.
And I'm also going for the Shield. So, let's go on to Del Rio versus Ziggler. E2J. Could Ziggler have made a better impact during this feud?
I think he could have, man. I think Ziggler's still going to retain though. Yeah, I'm going for Ziggler. Del Rio retaining.
You're going for Del Rio retaining, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sierra, who are you going for?
I have to say, for some reason, Del Rio. It seems like they're going to want to drag this out even longer.
Okay, Shugs?
Yeah, I don't think that it's time for Ziggler to get the title back yet. So I'm going for Del Rio as well. I don't think he's been chasing enough or long enough for it to, for the angle to get anywhere. So by giving Ziggler the belt back, then I don't know. But the thing is, all the people in the Money in the Bank are heels, so that would make them instantly be an opportunity to fight with Ziggler. So I'm confusing myself now, but I'm still going with Del Rio. I might change my mind halfway through before the end of the show.
Well, I'm just going to be different, and I'm going for Ziggler. I do feel a bit the same that, it may be drawn out a bit to SummerSlam, but they may have a completely different program by then, which I see Ziggler going up against maybe Big E, so I don't know. So I'm just going to say Ziggler. Write that down. All right. Well, Shugs, Axel versus The Miz. Can you just break down Curtis Axel and tell me, how he's done so far in terms of promo, in-ring, and his overall character?
Well, obviously he's got a mouthpiece, so he's got the mouthpiece of Heyman, so the overall character and his promos and stuff, you can't really comment on because he doesn't really do much. He comes out, does his little, pose when he comes out, and he's been in the ring, but he doesn't really do much, so I just think that they must be worried about his promo skills because they gave him with Heyman to get the rub off that. So I just don't think his initial push died off. He went in and he's fighting Cena and he's fighting Triple H and fighting Jericho, and then he had a few weeks of fighting Sin Cara, The Miz, and things like that. And really he took Fandango's spot because Fandango was going to get that push with the Intercontinental title. So I just think that, he sort of needs to do better.
Okay. So what's your prediction for this match?
I still think he's going to win.
Okay.
Axel.
Axel. E2J?
Axel.
Sierra?
Axel.
Yeah, mine is also Axel. Alright, so I'm going to you with this one, Sierra. AJ versus Kaitlyn. What do you think of the feud, and do you think that this will lead to a gimmick match, some sort of gimmick match at SummerSlam?
You know what? I'm not enjoying the feud. It's kind of like a drive-by. I'm just standing there witnessing it, and I really don't want to comment. It's kind of one of those situations because, for a while I was just like, oh my God, they're not doing anything with the Divas. They need a feud. They need to do something. And now we got a feud. But when I thought about this feud on paper, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. And what we're getting is more so high school games, actually middle school games, because half of this crap they've been doing I did in middle school and did it better. Hello, come to the master. But it's it's not even funny, and it's not even oh my gosh, she hurt Kaitlyn's feelings. It doesn't even make you feel like that. It makes you are they really serious? And it's not just me thinking that. I've come across kids that are even watching this and they're just are they really doing this as a feud? And it's very poor build-up because, you got AJ who's smaller and she's the big heel. She's actually a complete opposite of what she was last year at this time when she did her heel turn. Last year she was more venomous and more, vindictive and conniving. Now she's just toying with her and it's not even coming off. It's Lay Cool was even more conniving. And what they did was actually mean. You felt like they were being really mean. And what she's doing is just it just doesn't come off mean. Seriously, when Kaitlyn's in there getting the peroxide to dye that half her shit of her hair blonde, put some black ink in it or something. Do something like that. When Terry Reynolds drugged the cat and cut her hair off at the salon. That was mean.
Yeah, that's some cold shit.
Or the time when who was it? Jacqueline ambushed I think she had ambushed Lita in the locker room and she beat her up and she took lipstick and wrote all over her face. That type of stuff is mean and humiliating. This, you setting her up with Big E. I'm sorry, but Big E. Okay. looking like Sugar Bear. That does not get me like, oh my god, that is devastating enough. It's like everybody saw it was predictable. It was coming a mile away, and they're continuing on with this tirade. And then the thing that annoys me the most is on SmackDown. They had Layla in a corner. Layla's second to Kaitlyn now, and apparently she's supposed to turn heel, and I don't freaking know how. And then you got Alicia Fox, who's also in Kaitlyn's corner, and I'm like, wait, isn't she a heel? It makes no sense. And then the bad thing is, when AJ's being the big mean girl to her, when I thought that they were going to have the Bella Twins included in this because they don't like Kaitlyn as it is, and they were doing some very vindictive, mean stuff to her, too, they're not included in this. It's just one girl against all these other girls, and it makes no sense at all. It's coming off really bad, and I think the main reason why they're going with this is because somebody's seeing what the hell they're doing with the knockouts, and it's a damn shame that Taryn Terrell, who could not wrestle her way out of a freaking wet box 3 years ago, is completely opposite of what she was signed to WWE, and she's doing wonders over in TNA, and their division can't even do it. It's a shame, and I really want AJ to retain because hopefully they end this freaking program with her and Kaitlyn, because I'm not too shabby on Kaitlyn as it is in-ring performer. It's not going anywhere, and it's sad that, you know, when I watched her match from the last pay-per-view, and I watched it the first time as a fan, and I watched it the second time as just somebody watching. Then the third time I watched it analyzing it. And I said, isn't it a shame that AJ Lee is carrying her through this whole match?
Wow, people, I think we should actually play the rap music for Sierra, because she just went in on the Divas. God damn it.
And I mean, AJ Lee, in case people don't know, you know, before she came to WWE, she had been wrestling for about 3 or 4 years on Independence. So she's pretty much a veteran by now. And of course, the veteran is supposed to lead the, you know, the younger and the more green wrestler through the match. But when I was watching this, and I was just like, okay, Kaitlyn's been down in NXT, FCW, or whatever it was called at the time, since 2009. It's 4 years later. There's girls down there now who are just started down there, who are working wonders and doing way better than her than she's been in the past 4 years. And AJ Lee's carrying this girl. And it's a fucking shame when you got other girls on the roster, even to goddamn Alicia Fox, even though watching her matches gives me a headache, because she makes me hurt and the mat hurt. It's a shame that these girls are doing way better than her, and they're pushing this girl as the top babyface of that division. And she's never, I'm sorry, I don't care what they do, they could dress her up like Trish Stratus all they want to. She would never be a Trish Stratus. She would never lead that division like Eve Torres. She would never be as popular as Kelly Kelly. She would never be any of those girls, and they need to stop it and bring up Paige. Because that's the only hope they have.
Listen, you know what? We're going to stop that right there, because you just said the name that I always talk about, Miss Paige. And I have to give a quick shout out to Emma, because the Evolution, is doing her shit right now. You know what I'm talking about, Shugs. You know what I'm talking about, Shugs.
That's my jam.
Listen, I just hope you play the music. Sierra, I need a prediction from you, girl.
I have to say AJ Lee.
Okay.
I know you're relaxed.
Yeah.
Can I predict the turnbuckle or the Spanish announce table?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Spanish announce table wins. Just wins.
There you go. Spanish announce table. That would be a sight for sore eyes for real. E2J?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with AJ as well. I don't think it's gonna change yet, but maybe down the line. So yeah, I'm gonna go for AJ.
Shugs.
AJ, Black Widow, 1, 2, 3. I think they, like we said last week, I think they're gonna go for the gimmick match, and because Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell had the ladder match like last week, I think WWE are gonna go with the ladder match for the Divas title, maybe SummerSlam, or maybe something similar.
Oh, speaking of that, did you guys see that last week?
No.
I just saw the bruises on her leg. That was I saw, because she had a figure 4 leg lock on the ladder or something, and I saw the bruises, and that's all I saw.
I watched it this morning. I just rewatched it this morning. If you guys haven't seen it, you've got to see it. And I'm telling you, it's one of those matches you have to rewind because they did so much stuff within that little time.
Was it better than the first match?
They're both rivaling for me.
I need to watch this. Yes, people, you heard me. I'm gonna watch the total non-stop ass shit. All right, don't judge me. Jeez. Well, I'm going with AJ as well. God damn it. All right, E2J, Jericho versus Ryback. Will we see? You know what? What's your prediction?
I'm going with Ryback, but I think maybe something to do with Vickie. I don't know.
Okay. Sierra, your prediction?
You know, he just really hit the nail on the head right there. I didn't think about this. I'm gonna go with Ryback because I think something. Is it possible Ricky Guerrero could become Ryback's manager?
Or girlfriend.
Oh dear Jesus. I do not want to see a bison dating a screeching cat. I'm sorry. I just no.
Yeah, no, we could very well see that. So you're going for Ryback. Shugs, who you go for?
Ryback. Jericho's going to do some more Fozzy stuff, so Ryback wins.
Okay.
Have we got anyone replacing Kane in the Money in the Bank yet?
No.
No, nothing's been announced?
Bray Wyatt.
Nothing.
Maybe.
No, I don't want to see that.
Not yet. No, I don't want to see that either. No.
It's the rumor on the dirt sheets.
I don't want it to peak too soon.
You know what I mean? A Sheamus. Peak too soon, and then he just goes downhill. I'm going for Ryback as well. On the World Title Money in the Bank match, who am I going to next? I'm going to Shugs. Are you excited about this match? And are you surprised that they went down with this route of all heels, and is someone turning face from this group?
Well, you would assume that, like, I suppose depending on the story goes of the match, whether someone turns face. I suppose if the person wins and they're fighting Del Rio, then maybe they're going to be a face. But then if they're going to be fighting Ziggler, because Ziggler's won, then they just stay heel and they won the match. I think it's definitely going to be a Rhodes Scholars breakup in the match. Mm-hmm. And if that leads to, like, Sunday versus Cody Rhodes, maybe at SummerSlam, you know, that'll be good. I think that'll be good for a few weeks. But I don't know who's going to win. Maybe there's a lot of people in the match I want to win, but then who will win is another thing. If I would want maybe Sunday or Fandango or Cody Rhodes to win, but I think that Wade Barrett is going to win or Swagger is going to win.
Ooh, you bastard! You took my pick. I'm picking Wade Barrett too. Sierra.
As much as I want to poll for Dean Ambrose in this situation, the only one that makes sense to me is Wade Barrett. It's something about, like, they took the title off of him for a reason. And I feel like right now is his time to be the next one. And it's just making me think of, okay, what if they turn Wade Barrett face and he goes up against Alberto Del Rio? Just the clobber fest right there. Ugh. Or even Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
It'd just be different.
It's his time. It is his time. E2J, who are you going for?
We haven't got E2J at the moment. We'll get him when he comes back.
Okay. Well, I'm going for Wade Barrett as well.
We've had 3 Barretts so far.
Yeah, I'm going for Wade Barrett. It's his time. You know, he was meant to win it last year when he had when he bust up his arm on the Battle Royal, man, and he's waited and he's back and it's his time.
E2J, right, you back?
E2J.
I don't know what's going on today, man.
Don't worry, we need your money in the bank. World Heavyweight Title prediction. We've got 3 Barretts so far.
See, this is gonna be hard now.
Hello?
Right,
He's just thinking.
Yeah, why do I want to say Fandango?
Mate, if
Oh dear Jesus!
I want to say it after that little segment. I want to see Fandango.
If Fandango wins and I'm on the train watching it to work on my iPad, I'm just going to stand up and do the Fandango, and everyone else can just go fuck themselves.
If Fandango wins, I give up on all kayfabe and just sulk for days.
Can you imagine Summer Rae doing a stiff dance when he wins? Could you just imagine? God damn. All right. Well, let's go on to the WWE Money in the Bank.
Wait.
Give a prediction.
Yeah.
Did
I'm not saying Fandango.
See,
but you've all said Barrett, haven't you?
Yeah, the problem is like a difference between who you think's going to win and who you want to win.
Exactly.
It's hard between the two.
I honestly don't think Cesaro is gonna get it, so I'm gonna go with Sandow.
Sandow?
Yeah, I'm playing wild card because you've all said it, so I'm not saying this. I'm not gonna say the same for this one. I've got to say something a bit different, and I'm gonna go for Sandow, man.
Sandow, okay, and that'll be interesting. Sandow by knocking off Cody Rhodes.
Well, they had a little dispute in the segment, so you definitely know something's going down between them. They're definitely gonna have a spot in there where they don't obviously work together.
All right.
So I'm just going with that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the WWE Money in the Bank title match. Okay. Sierra, having seen a good series of one-on-one matches, does this make this, the whole thing just that little bit more special?
Yeah, it makes it, how would you say, it builds up not only the interest in a match of who's going to win, but it also makes you realize that this is important. This is for a shot at the WWE Championship, whether they cash it in that night, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, or whatever the hell they feel like it. They could do it on spur-of-the-moment thing like Dolph Ziggler just did. I kind of like how they're doing the one-on-one matches. It's, some of these matches I don't think we've ever seen Daniel Bryan versus Christian, to my knowledge. It's kind of an intriguing matchup. Of course they piled on all the big stars in one match, but I kind of like how they've been facing off, really.
Who are you predicting then?
Oh, dear Jesus.
I know.
This one is the toughest decision ever because, one, I would like to see Randy Orton win this. I would love to see Daniel Bryan win this because he's kind of, believe it or not, he is the underdog in this match. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? He's actually the underdog in this match because everybody else has height, weight to their advantage, and styles. RED is, I'm sorry to say, but he's not going to win. Okay, let's just be fair. Don't nobody want to see that horrible match between him and John Cena again. Oh, dear Jesus. That was the worst match of that card back in, 2006? Oh, I don't want to see that ever again. Kane, I really wanted Kane. I said that'd be something different. Christian, even if he turns heel. I don't think, I don't think we've ever seen Christian and John Cena. That's something different. Or Christian and Mark Henry, depending on whoever wins that match. So my strongest ones are Christian and Daniel Bryan, but I'm going for Daniel Bryan.
Okay, E2J?
For me, it's between Bryan and Punk, man. But I'm going for Punk.
Oh, note that down, people. Shugs, who are you going for?
I'm going for Bryan.
All right, I'm also going for my man D.Bryan. Okay, last one. Cena versus Big Mark Henry.
Take it back. I'm going Bryan as well. What am I doing? Why am I going?
Alright, wait there. Let's confirm it. Sierra, who did you say? Bryan?
Bryan.
Okay. And so we've all gone Bryan.
Yeah.
Alright.
Something was just telling me it wasn't going to be as easy as that, but something.
Alright, so for an extra, in case we need a decision.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't happen, no one gets any points. But if it does happen, who do you think they're going to get to replace Kane?
Oh gosh. That's not that. Come on, man.
You
There's
can
no
call,
one else.
You can call no one if you want, but if someone else comes out, then you don't get a point. I think they're going to replace him. I think they're going to have someone else in there.
Bray
What,
Wyatt.
another surprise?
Well, just someone to replace the number. They were already one down already, so they got 7, and they was down to 6. So I think they're going
Yeah, but the other one's 6 as well.
Well, because who's out of that?
No one. The other one's
7.
6.
That's 7. They both had 7.
No, did they?
Yeah, the one is Barrett, Rhodes, Sandow, Ambrose, Fandango, Jack Swagger, Cesaro.
Wait. That's yeah.
7.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know. The only one that I could think of, is obviously Bray Wyatt, but that would just be the biggest, dumbest, stupidest move ever. So
Are you saying Bray Wyatt?
no, I'm not saying Bray Wyatt. They could do a clusterfuck and bring in Brock Lesnar, but no one don't want to see Brock Lesnar do no Money in the Bank. So I'm saying no one. No one.
What do you think, Sierra?
I know you don't want to see Brock Lesnar, but I actually think this will add a strange wrinkle to this. Because he has an issue with CM Punk. And making sure that he doesn't get that Money in the Bank. That's one thing, and...
we need to make sure we do a line between a run-in and a Money in the Bank All-Star competitor.
A competitor. We're saying a competitor.
Yeah, we're saying a competitor. I think Lesnar might do a run-in during the event.
I can see him doing a run-in, but what if they make him as a competitor?
Yeah. Well, that's for you to call.
But here's another possibility. What if, because let's be honest, we all know SmackDown jerks the curtain. Let's be honest. What if Del Rio or Ziggler, whatever one loses that match, gets inserted into this as an other competitor?
Done it now.
Oh shit. See,
that just makes the stakes higher.
Or Ryback loses to Jericho or beats Jericho and Ryback enters.
Whatever. Because, think about it, Ryback and Jericho really started over with them both winning the world title.
Yeah.
Right, I'm still saying nothing.
Yeah, because their beef was Jericho said, I invented the match, and Ryback was like, why am I not in the match? And that's why they started fighting each other. Or
they could say at the top of the thing that their match will be to decide who goes.
Yeah, but you've said no one, so you're out.
Yeah, I'm saying no one. I am saying no one. Sierra, what are you saying?
Who am I picking?
Or are you saying no one, or are you picking someone? Oh no, are you saying no one, or are you saying that someone will come in and be the next competitor?
I'm thinking somebody does come in there, because it just seems like if they were going to put another competitor in there, why did they just leave it open like that? It seems like something's up their sleeve. Or another possibility, because I have a feeling something's going to happen. Paul Heyman, we all know Paul Heyman is going to be lurking at ringside some freaking reason during this match, even though CM Punk tells him not to. What if Heyman comes out there and announces that the competitor that's taken over Kane's place is Curtis Axel?
Oh.
And I know that sounds crazy, but this is going to not only infuriate CM Punk, but this is going to take his attention off of the prize, which is at hand, and make him even more pissed and upset with Heyman as it is. And then Brock Lesnar does a run-in.
Okay. So, alright. So who are you picking, girl? Come on.
I'm picking no one. I'm just saying possibilities.
Okay, she's picking no one. After all of that, she's picking no one.
Hey, it's just so many things left open. You just never know.
Never know. A2J, who you picking?
Repo Man. Nah.
Oh my.
Oh my God, I would so pop for that. What a Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh. Stop it.
Brooklyn. Right, I'm saying I'm just gonna go Bray Wyatt. Fuck it.
Bray Wyatt. Okay. Well, Shugs obviously thinks someone's gonna replace. So Shugs, what you say?
I think it's gonna be Big Show.
Yeah, look at this one coming out.
All right. Big Show. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, we'll see. All right. Well, enough of that. Last one. Cena versus Henry. All right. Here we go. Now, I want to say Henry, and the reason why I want to say, I'm not saying it's Henry, but the reason why I want to say Henry is because I'm thinking the way that they may lead to Daniel Bryan, you know, facing John Cena is Mark Henry wins, retires, then they have a tournament to see who faces off for the WWE title at SummerSlam, and it ends up being Cena versus Bryan. That's an angle, but I'm going with Cena. So, Shugs, who you going with?
Yeah, like I would be so happy. I think I might even shed a tear if Mark Henry won, but it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So just John fucking Cena.
E2J.
Fuck it, I'm backing Henry. I'm going Henry.
Oh, okay. He's saying Mark Henry. Is he gonna change his mind? We will see in due course.
Nah, I'm not changing my mind on this one. I'll back him to the end. Fuck it. Let's go Henry. Team Henry.
That's what I like to see. Sierra, you got the final word.
This was another hard one because I want them both to win for reasons. I would love to see a Mark Henry win and finally get the belt, you know. You talking about shedding a tear, I'm going to throw a freaking party and quit AMP.
Don't let
all these...
Yeah, that shit.
Finally, after all this stuff been working for, he finally got it. You know, I would love to be a great moment, but I just don't see that happening. I see, for some reason, Mark Henry going back to SmackDown and going after SmackDown title. I know that sounds crazy, but they've done worse. I mean, he was sexual chocolate, people. I see John Cena really pulling this one, and actually, because you can set John Cena on fire, you can put the biggest men in the world in front of him, somehow he defies it and he wins. And this is going to, John Cena's the winner, Daniel Bryan, maybe he comes out there and tries to cash it in, or he waits a while. And this is going to set them up, because apparently this is what they both want.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just want their girlfriends to be like, can't my boyfriend's better than yours? Kind of situation. It's weird.
To get it on Total Divas, that's what they want to do. All right. Well, Sierra's gone for Cena. So, yeah, Cena it is. All right. Well, that's the end of the Money in the Bank predictions. Guys, are we going to be doing Beat the Clock?
I'm ready for it, man, if I don't get cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Sierra, would you like to stay and listen to Beat the Clock, or do you, have you got things to do?
Sure, I'd love to.
Yeah? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Not like I'm doing anything important.
Well, let me just read out some of our other followers, their predictions. We've got Lewis Hatton. His prediction is Shield, Cena, Alberto Del Rio, Daniel Bryan, Ryback. He switched Cesaro to Barrett, Axel and Kaitlyn. And then Justin from the Place to Be Nation podcast, he says Cena, Del Rio, Bryan, Ambrose, Axel, Ryback, AJ, and The Shield. So, let me just give a quick shout out to the Place to Be Nation podcast. Make sure people you go and rep that, listen to that. Some good shit right there. All right, well, E2J, I'm just going to say thanks, as always, to the human highlight reel himself, Mr. E2J. Mr. E2J.
Oh, no,
he is there.
Well, he's there, but he's not saying anything. Nah, he's not. So I'll just be like, hey, yo. Okay? That was me being E2J.
Okay, and also, don't forget the hashtag tech guy, the gal them sugar shugs.
Yo.
And the wonderful and talented Sierra. Thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Just let me know when you guys, want me on. And you know what? Since I've been on here twice with you guys, I gotta somehow get you guys on AMP.
Oh, that would be wicked.
Kitty would be marking out if you were on. Man, you would be thinking you're angry Tensai.
Oh my God. Nah, man, nah. I want to speak to King J, because I reckon me and him, kind of got a bit in common in terms of some of his views. So, King J, I rate that guy, King J, yeah. And the Cranktastic one, he makes me laugh, man. That guy's crazy. That guy's crazy.
let me tell you something about Quint. You know, Jeff and I are best friends in real life. We've been friends since, you know, 6th grade. So we pretty much play off each other. It's kind of like we have our own tag team. You know, we can take out the Usos. Don't worry about that. But Quintastic, when I first started on Angry Marks, I was on Ring the Bell with him, Nikolai, and at the time, Kill Kev. And I was like, I don't know how to take him, but he's so freaking funny, and he's just so witty. Some of the stuff he comes up with, I don't know where he finds it in his mind, but he says it, and you're just like, what? You can't believe that he said it, and now he's got his, you know, his own, you know, show on YouTube, and he's doing it, and it's just like, oh my god, you're just freaking bonkers. And now he's on Raw Reaction with Angry Tensai, who is just even as bonkers as him.
I know.
And I even was the one was like, yeah, I think we should put them two together. Now I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, 1 minute it was, you know, Killer Kev and Chris Judd, and then you know, gangbanging on CM Punk. And then next week is all of a sudden it's Angry Tensai Quintastic one. So it switches up all the time. But yeah, thanks for coming on, and you'll be on again soon. So this week, in the words of, will be coming from Davari when he managed Muhammad Hassan. So in the words of Davari, Koshe ma paravra no peprakanis Muhammad Hassan. Now smoke your pipe and choke on that slap nuts. Peace.